Hello, Chanchal ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, just let me know when to start.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, right now we have only five
Yeah, I
participants.
could see that. I could see that. So we will wait. Just let me know
We'll
when we
wait
can
for
start.
2-3 minutes more.
Yeah, sure.
So good afternoon, everyone. Right now we have only 12 participants, means 10 participants are here with us. So let's start the program. Without wasting any time, I'll invite Miss Garima Bhatnagar to start the session, and she will be talking on use of ICT for English language teaching and writing, and activities to develop writing skills among students. So I welcome Ms. Garima Bhatnagar, and over to you, ma'am. You can start the session now.
Thank you, Chanchal ma'am. Thanks for beginning this session and welcome to all the participants. I hope you're all having a good day and that you're all safe and healthy. So, you've been having different sessions, and I guess you had a writing skills session a day back as well. So, I will just continue with the writing skills and then move on to the ICT part, if that's okay with you.
Yes, ma'am. It's quite okay.
So, let's move on to. By that time, I guess more participants would have joined as well. So, is my PPT visible to you? Hello, if somebody could respond, gentlemen. Okay, thank you, Subedar Rajpar sir. Okay, so since you have done writing, a session on writing, so I'm not delving on what is writing or what does writing mean to you, but I'll just move on to sharing the PPT, and it's a form of communication. I'll just highlight the important words. So it is communication and organizing one's knowledge and beliefs into convincing arguments. So there is some knowledge that we have, and there's some belief that we have about certain things, which we convert, which we organize, and then we have some kind of arguments about our knowledge and beliefs. For example, I believe that in winters one should be wearing woolens, one should be wearing mittens. So I would try and communicate it with some kind of arguments. And then my meaning should be conveyed to you properly and that you can understand that. And these are through well constructed text and the script of a language. Now, the script for us is Roman script. So if you could see highlighted words over here, writing is a form of communication. So we need writing to communicate things. We speak as well. So writing and speaking are two productive skills to communicate. But for writing, you have to convey meaning by a script. You don't have a script for speaking, and you also have well constructed text. So text and script are important for writing. So in case you need your students to write, you must ensure that they know the script and then they know the text very well before we start writing. And then we must understand that students have to organize their knowledge and beliefs into arguments. So there's some knowledge, there are some beliefs that the students have, and then they must learn how to organize these knowledges and beliefs. So, why? Why do you need to write? And why writers write? There are some things given over here. Is somebody willing to speak these out? The first one, why writers write? We have about 7 things, 7 reasons why writers write. If somebody could share it. Okay, I know it's too cold today and we
to
must be freezing. Yeah, please go ahead, whoever it is.
to express thoughts.
Thank you,
They
Suman
love
ma'am.
to,
Mm-hmm.
they love to to tell
Mm-hmm.
about something they love, to share
Mm-hmm.
experiences, to
Mm-hmm.
share feelings, to
Thank you.
ask questions.
Thank you, Suman ma'am. Would someone else like to venture? So Suman ma'am said to express thoughts, to express experiences, and then something that we love, we need to tell about it, and then to share feelings. Thank you, Suman ma'am. Would somebody else like to venture? I'm sorry I stopped you short, Suman ma'am. I was just wondering if somebody else could go about it.
Okay, ma'am.
You may
Next one is
continue, Suman ma'am. Yeah, please go ahead.
to teach, to
Mm-hmm.
tell, to tell about important events.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Suman. And then we also ask questions as teachers. So these are things that we um, these are the reasons why the writers write, or why our students would want to write. That's right, Sonia. To tell about experiences, to share experiences. So basically, thoughts, experiences, our love, our feelings, teaching, important events, and to ask questions. And there could be more things as well. Basically, we need to communicate and then organize our thoughts and beliefs into arguments with a script and a text. So, now there is a script, there is a text in this cartoon. Somebody is doing something, okay? Typing on the mobile. We do this every day, all the time. So, do you think this text would be actually writing? This is text, this is script, and this is also the person over here in the cartoon, his belief. He's putting them into order. He's trying to share it. So, do you think this is writing? Would you accept this if your student writes like this? This person is also writing. And we are everything that we talked about at the beginning of the session, what writing is all about. Astonished, somebody said that. I just heard a word. I don't know. That was not clear. Somebody said something. Okay, good afternoon, Suruchi.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you. So, would you like to venture out? Do you think this person, whatever he's typing on the in the mobile, is this a writing that you would accept? Would you say this is writing?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead. I'm sorry, I.
Sunil Kumar.
Okay, Sunil.
Ma'am, the man is writing some text.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am,
Mm,
Okay.
this is
I
kind
think
of
it
a
is not
SMS.
a writing skill
Okay. Why do you think this is not a writing skill?
because there is a lack of some words that is not in order and not in
Okay.
proper.
Subedar, sir. That's
Proper.
right. Subedar just wrote down it is not organized well. So he's trying to organize, he's trying to put his thoughts down, but these are not organized well. Thank you. Thank you for responding, Sunil and Subedar, sir. So when we yes, please.
Ma'am, this is Suruchi. Ma'am, I
Suruchi,
would,
please go ahead.
ma'am, I would like to say that the person is able to communicate his or her feelings, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a quick way of what we call these days SMS language or WhatsApp
That's right.
language. But
That's right.
the thing is, he is able to communicate his condition or situation to the
Mm-hmm.
other side.
Mm-hmm.
So a bit unorganized, but still he is able to communicate. So I think it's
So you would
we can
accept that?
consider it, yeah, we can consider that it's a writing skill, but
Mm-hmm.
bit of practice and organization of ideas should be there.
Okay. Okay. So here
Thank
we
you.
come again. I think you missed this part, right? So we have to have a well-constructed text to convey meaning or a coded script. So the text is not well constructed and this coded script is not being used properly. Though the person is trying to organize, this is not well organized. Again, as Subhida sir said, he has been able to put across the knowledge and beliefs in an argument, but the conveying of meaning is not proper because the text is not well constructed and the coded script is not there. Script of the language. Now, the language over here is English, and the script of the language is not properly used over here. If you could see in the lower part of the cartoon with a star, the proper script is written. The coded script is written well over there, the text. So we need our students to understand that this is what. Otherwise, why do you think you are able to decipher the meaning of DEYSAILACK? Why do you think you are able to understand the meaning of this unorganized text? Suruchi, this is to you. You said that you were able to understand. The communication of the meaning is there. But why were you able to understand the meaning?
Ma'am, because maybe we can say as a student, I have a good reading comprehension, so I can read I can read between the lines, or you can say ambiguous text.
Because you know your script, you know your coded text well. You know your coded text well, so you are able to decipher meanings. But then for writing, you don't have to decipher meanings, you have to convey through the coded text in an organized, proper manner. So if there's somebody who doesn't know the script of English well, I'm not sure whether he or she will be able to understand the meaning. You know the script well, so you can understand the meaning. So that is why we need to let our students understand and practice on the proper text and proper coded script of the text. So the script for us is Roman script. Every language has different scripts. For example, in Hindi, it's Devanagari script. In Punjabi, it is Gurmukhi. In Urdu, I think they say Urdu script. So every language has different script. And to understand or to write, you need to learn the script, the coded script. So this is a cartoon and I'm talking about cartoons. So let's start with cartoons. This is a comic strip. So in a comic strip, we need to tell our students that the higher bubble, there are different bubbles in a comic strip. The higher bubble speaks first. If you remember, we talked about in our grammar session that we had, I talked about question number 6, which has a cartoon or comic strip. And I'm sorry, I was not able to show you the comic strip because of the technology problem. But then I told you it is a comic strip about Supandi. Now, if there are different bubbles, the students must know that the higher bubble speaks first. If there are 2 bubbles in a comic strip, then the students must know that the higher bubble speaks first, and then left to right can also apply. Like the left one would speak first, and then the right one, the bubbles. Okay, now the thought bubble and speech bubbles. Now, in a comic strip, somebody is sometimes speaking and somebody is thinking. So students must understand that which bubble is thinking bubble and which bubble is speech bubble. If there's a bold in the bubble, that implies yelling, somebody shouting. Okay, so now here are different bubbles. Could you tell me which one is the speaking bubble over here and which one is thinking bubble? And which one is a shouting bubble? And which one is an exciting bubble? There are different bubbles over here. I'm sorry, I just moved. Would you like to venture out?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead.
First one is thinking bubble.
The one with dots, so little dots. I'll just try.
The first one.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is speaking bubble.
Okay, this one is a speaking bubble. Sorry, I'm moving it. Mm-hmm. So the
Third
one
one is
with dots,
third.
third one.
Yeah,
Now we're moving from left to right.
yeah, ma'am. Left to right.
That's right. Thank you. So the first one from left on top is a thinking bubble, as Sir
Thinking
said.
bubble.
The second
And
one is a speaking
speaking.
bubble, and the third bubble, sir.
Third bubble is exciting bubble.
Okay, thank you. Excitement, exciting bubble. And then again in
Uh,
the
Third
lower
one,
one, yes.
fourth one, I can't. I can't
Okay,
explain
the fourth. Okay, the fourth one is also a thinking bubble, since there are those small.
Small bubble.
Yeah,
But what is
that's
the
right.
difference, ma'am? First and fourth.
Okay. Now, one is on the higher part, the other one is on the lower part. So somebody is thinking first, and then somebody is thinking later on.
Okay, ma'am.
And then the fifth bubble that is there with the square, with a rectangle, these are different types of bubbles basically that writers or illustrators use. But then the last bubble is definitely for shouting or
Shouting
yelling
bubble.
with exclamation. Thank you. So we come to the next. I'm not sure if this one is very clear to you. I tried to get a picture over here, which was because last time the picture was not visible. So there are different bubbles over here. You could see the third picture on the top. Third picture on the top, if you're moving from left to right, has a thinking bubble. Okay, I'll just give you a minute to look at the bubbles and the comic strip. This is the kind of comic strip that, thank you, Sunil sir. This is the kind of comic strip that you would have in your question paper, question number 6 that we talked about. So we'll come to the writing part of our question paper. So these are different letters that we have. Complaint letter, inquiry letter, inquiry letter, placing orders, and letter to the editor. I'll give you a letter in which you will try and find out mistakes. Is this one visible to you? I'll just try and use. I'm sorry. Okay. So is this visible to you now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Mm-hmm.
A vast urban park.
Somebody has a class going on in the background. If you could mute your mic, please. So the first one is the sender's address on the top left corner. Leave a line, you tell your students leave a line, and then you have the date and tell your students not to write D-A-T-E, date, because many of them do that. And then the address of the addressee. Salutation. So these are main things that you need to tell your students when they are writing letters. If you are through it, I'll move to the next slide. I'm not spending too much time on this because many of you already know it. It's just that You need to tell your students about this. Okay, when you're doing this with your students, you could ask them questions like this. I'll move back to the slide. We talked about sender's address. You could ask the question, who writes the letter? Who writes the letter? Then they will tell you the name of the sender. Who is over here? Who is the sender over here? Could you tell me the name, please? What is the name of the sender here? Okay. It is down here at the bottom of the letter. I guess you are not able to see it. Then, when was the letter written? How would students answer that? If anybody could share, how would students answer? When was the letter written? How would I know? In this slide, how would I know when was the letter written? Is there anything that tells me when was the letter written?
April 2011.
Thank you. So the date tells you when the letter was written. And who's the sender, if so, you could tell me, Suman ma'am?
Address is written, but name is not written.
Name is not
Name is at
written.
Ashok Vihar, Mathura.
I think, ma'am, sender's name is Raghav.
Thank you. Who was that? Thanks a lot.
I'm Deepa, ma'am.
Thank you, Deepa. So you need to ask questions like these to your students so that they know what to write where. So whom was the letter written to? Whom was this letter written to? Any idea?
The editor of the Times of India, ma'am.
Thank you. The editor of the Times of India. Reason for writing the letter. Now, this is a subject which will be there in the question of in the question paper. So you need to tell your students that they should read the question and then find the subject from there. And then the first paragraph, as we said, talks about the introduction of the problem. Whatever is mentioned, it would be there in the question again. And then the second paragraph of the letter talks about how does this issue or this problem affects us or affects the life. And then the third paragraph talks about your action or solution as you would want it to be done. So these are things that you must tell your students. Now over here, this is how a letter usually looks like. So if you want, you can give this as a sample letter to your students. I'll move on to the next part, which is writing articles. So for writing articles, the students need creativity, they need vocabulary, they need knowledge of the subject, and then again, the skill to organize the ideas. So the format of the article, there is a heading or a title on the top, and then below the line, you have the author's name. It would usually be given in the question. If it is not given, tell your students to write ABC or XYZ. And then the body of the letter, it starts from the left after the margin line. The first paragraph again talks about the introduction of the topic. the heading, you could start with a slogan, a question, or something catchy. Your article should always start with something catchy, something which has the interest of the reader. It could be a fact, it could be a figure, it could be a statement, it could be a slogan, or something that you think is important or would get the interest of the reader. The second and third paragraph could talk about the cause, effect, present state of affairs, whatever the topic is, the cause of the topic, the present state, what is the topic about, what is it talking, how does it matter. So the second and third paragraph could be talking about that and the effect of whatever is happening. How does it look in the current scenario? And then the last paragraph, fourth paragraph, that is not necessary that you have 4 paragraphs. You could also have 3 paragraphs. But then if you divide the second and third paragraph one into the cause of the topic, why is this happening, what are the reasons behind it, and then another paragraph about the effects and what is the result of what the topic that you have. And then the fourth paragraph about the solutions or conclusions that you draw in the article. Now the topic name should be in bold letters. You could underline it. Over here, you could see some sample sentences over here. And then divide your material in different parts. Give samples from newspapers to your students if you can. Share newspapers with your students. You're teaching online these days, so you could very easily scan some of the articles that you think are very interesting and then share the PDF of the same with your students when you're teaching. These are some of the topics that you could practice with your students because, as you remember, they need to have vocabulary for the topics. So in case they have requisite vocabulary for these given topics, they might be able to handle some other topic which could be related to these topics, and then write the article. So there are 7 topics over here which I think could be useful. Let's take half a minute to go through these topics. I will not read them out. And then we'll move to the next slide. Okay, you could also use mind map in writing articles. For example, you have a topic, you could talk about why. For the first topic, the first paragraph would talk about what. What is this topic? What is the thing that we are talking about? And then we could talk about why is this thing happening? Why did this happen? Why is such and such person doing this? And then the next paragraph could talk about how or who is doing. And then fourth paragraph would talk about how you could change things about this, how you could offer possible solutions to it. So you could use this for mind mapping in article writing. Then another one would be analytical writing of analytical paragraphs, which is 5 marks. And there's an choice over here. You have 2 paragraphs, out of which students will have to attempt 1 out of 2. And there are usually some visual inputs or verbal or textual inputs. The skills involved in this writing is analysis and evaluation. So this would be different from writing letters that you already saw. Out of 5 marks, 3 marks are for content and 2 marks are for expression. And for these expression, for these 2 marks, one is for grammatical accuracy and then another one for appropriate words and spelling, which is vocabulary. So you have to have cohesion and connection, logical progression, which is there in every writing task. I'll just take half a minute for you to read this and then we move on. Now, this is an example. There is a graphical representation of leisure, cultural and leisure activities. So there is this visual input as well as the textual input. Given below is an infographic related to cultural and leisure activities that boys and girls engage in. Look at the pie charts and extract information to write an analytical essay in about 100 to 120 words. Interpret, analyze, and explain the information. Now remember, we have to talk about the information given over here and write as less as possible about our own views. Because if we have to write in 100 to 120 words, try thinking about, okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different possible situations given in each of the pie charts. If we write one sentence on each of the possible situations, then we have at least 14 sentences out of here. If you could see, there are 2 pie charts. Each pie chart has, 6. Each pie chart has 6 different categories. So if we write 6 sentences on one pie chart, 6 sentences on second pie chart, we already have 12 sentences with us. And on an average, if we have 10 words per sentence, we are done with 120 word limit. So you have to be careful in case you want to give some opinion, which we need to give in an analytical paragraph, because we need to analyze and explain the information. So you need to be careful about writing this. You need to tell that students could club 2 pie charts into one. For example, the first category is listening to music, the one with dark color. So boys have 10% boys listen to music and 10% girls listen to music. So now how the students would interpret it. Basketball, 26% of boys, and the same is dancing, 27% of girls. So there are different things that the students need to write about. How would they analyze it? Would you want to venture? Anybody? Not writing, but at least speak a few sentences about the pie charts given over here. How would you interpret it? Analyzing is a different thing. First, we'll go through interpreting and then analyzing. How do you read these pie charts? Would someone like to venture, please? We need to do this with our students because this is something that is new as a question in CBSE sample papers. And neither us as teachers nor our students are familiar with this kind of work. And as I said earlier as well, in another session, that these kind of questions are being introduced in our papers because these are very similar to the English language examinations like IELTS and TOEFL. Similar questions are there in these examinations where our students would eventually be working on. So how would you help your students? Any idea? Try and interpret. We still have people joining in. Would someone like to venture this out? Okay, according to this pie chart, 27% of girls love dancing, whereas 26% of boys do basketball, which is the highest ratio. And second in number comes reading, which is 21% done by girls and 2% by boys. And then girls and boys fare similar in listening to music. Both of them have 10%. 10% of boys and girls listen to music. And then computer games, it seems that boys have a large number doing computer games, whereas only 16% of girls play on computers. So this is how we interpret. And then we need to analyze. Now, how do we analyze and explain the information? How do you think we could do that? Could you do anything about basketball and dancing? And then reading. See, this is 21% girls doing the reading part, and just 2% of boys are doing the reading bit. But they are playing more of computer games than girls. So how would you analyze this now? How would you analyze? Here comes the opinion and argumentative formation of the writer. How does the writer see this information as? If the information says that the girls do dancing as physical activity and boys do same amount of basketball practice as physical activity. So, would anyone would like to venture? Please say something. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's like hearing my own voice. So how do you think you'll be able? Yes, please. Somebody was speaking something. Suman, ma'am.
Ma'am, here boys like to play basketball, soccer, skateboarding, more of outdoor games, whereas girls prefer
Okay.
more dancing, reading, gymnastics,
Okay.
netball.
Okay. Great.
The differences between the hobbies they are carrying now.
Okay, great. So important word that Suman ma'am used was powerful games. So boys use more powerful games, whereas girls do things which are more of hobby thing or something which involves artistic expression. Gymnastics, dancing, netball, whereas basketball, soccer, skateboarding are more powerful games. So this is how Suman ma'am sees it. You need to provide such vocabulary to your students so that they know how to interpret, how to analyze the information. Now they have interpreted it. How are they
Also,
going to analyze? Yes, please go ahead.
students playing computer games, number of boys are almost more than double than number of
That's
girls.
right. Okay, thank you so much. I was waiting for this.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Would somebody like to comment on that? That the number of boys playing computer games is almost double, more than double of the percentage of girls.
Ma'am, in our childhood days also, when we used to go outside and play on computer games for these games, those times also, mostly boys used to go and play these games. Girls have started playing these games on computer and phone in nowadays, but boys used to play more such type of games before.
Okay.
So
So here's, you need to ask students, what kind of opinion do you form of that now? Is there any opinion if they could form? So the students need to write at least 2 sentences about their own opinion of the information given. We have interpreted, we have explained the information over here. Now, how to analyze, how to form opinion about it. One of the thing could be that boys go out, girls don't. Now, there's an opinion. This is an opinion. Students could have different opinions. You could have different opinions, but you need to write it down in a sentence or two. Now, this is a paragraph based on the information given. I'll move to the next slide if you're done reading that. Now, this is the second option that you have. This is an excerpt from an article in a local daily magazine. Now, look at the article excerpt. The ban on single-use plastic is impractical. The purpose of articles like bags and packaging is ultimately to make human life easier. Plastic articles do this well, so they shouldn't be banned. Okay. Now, this is a very topical idea. Now, the students need to write a paragraph to analyze the given argument. There's an argument given over here. You could think about what alternative explanations might weaken the conclusion and include rationale evidence that would strengthen or counter the given argument. Now, first thing, you have to analyze the argument. What does this ban mean? Does it make human life easier or not? Okay, and the second part could be that plastic articles are good. It makes the human life easier, so they shouldn't be banned. Now, in case you need to ban plastic, single-use plastic, what alternative explanations could be there if you are on that opinion? And you must give your rationale. What is the reason? Why do you think that single-use plastic should not be banned? Why do you think they are to be used? And then give evidence from your life, from your daily experience. Or if you think it should be banned, then why do you think it should be banned? What kind of reason would you give? And then what evidence do you have of your reason? So three things are very important. You need to analyze, you need to provide explanations with rationale, with reasons. And then third, you give evidence for your reasons. So these are three things. I would just bold them so that analyze, alternative explanations, include rationale and evidence. So these are three important things that you must include in your article writing paragraph. Analytic also have a chapter in the textbook. If you remember, the Diary of Anne Frank, which is a diary entry kind of a chapter. So students would be familiar with this more or less. You just need to inform them of the format. The top left has date, day, and time. And usually the tense in diary entry is simple past, present perfect, or future tense, and it is written in first person. So these are three tips that you could give students for diary entry. Begin the diary entry with a general sentence describing what kind of day, what kind of weather, what kind of situation it is there. And then in the body of the entry, write whatever event is there, and then express your feelings towards it. How do you feel about the event? Whatever thing that you're discussing, write your feelings about it. Please ensure that the students write their feelings. And then you finally conclude with the remark and future course of action. What would you do in future now? What do you think is happening? How does it end? What does it imply? And then what future action does it lead to? This is a sample. So Day, date, and time. Dear Kitty Diary, you would remember the name. And then good night and Sanya. I'll move on to story writing because we have another topic as well. Now, if there is a story writing, you must tell students that they must write small sentences. Don't try because when you yes, I think somebody was trying to. Sunaina, are you trying to say something? I thought somebody was speaking. Okay. So you must write small sentences and then use only one tense. Usually stories start with past tense. Once there was this, once upon a time, there was a king, there was a boy, there was a girl, there was a lion. So there's usually simple past tense, but tell them to use only one tense in the story. Write a title, don't forget the title, and preferably a short one. And then the narrative could be first, second, third person, but it should be same throughout. Whichever narrative you choose, you could write like once there was or once I was going through, I saw this. So whichever narrative you use, or you could use Wanda. Wanda was a very good girl. She was doing this and he was doing that and whatever. But please continue with the same narrative. Don't change the narrative. And then encourage students to be creative. Don't expect them, if you ask them to write a story, don't ask them to, if they give answers like, once there was a crow, he was very thirsty, he wanted some water, then he saw a pot of water, and but he could not reach the water because it was at the bottom of the pot. So he started putting some pebbles into the water. So try discouraging these kind of stories. Try them, ask them to be more creative, more original if they can in their story writing. This is going to help. They could have different kind of things. For example, the trees were flying in the sky, the lion was swimming in the river. So everything is right in a story because this is all imagination. So encourage them to be more imaginative and creative. That could give more oomph to the story. And if they're using dialogues, ask them not to be too long. Okay, these are the elements of story. I'm not going to read them out. Please take 1 minute to read for yourself. And if you have any questions about this, please ask. I'm waiting for you to go through this. Now, this is what we have already discussed. Just ask them, encourage them to be more creative as much as they can. Sequencing of events, sequencing of items in the story is very important. And if possible, ask them to include a complication and its resolution. Discuss these 4 things with your students. Please read them half a minute. And if you have any question, I'm not reading them out because we have already discussed it. So I'll move to the next one. This is a sample story. You could see the parts marked in yellow are the ones that we discussed just now. Scenes, events, Okay, so there was this TGT manual which was done in 2018-19, and two of our friends, Shilpa and Harish, did this story. Okay, I think you have already done process approach to writing in a session yesterday or day before yesterday, so I'm not going through it. If you've done this, please let me know, because this was a topic for yesterday's session. Please let me know if you've done this. Okay, thank you, sir. So I'll move on. Thank you, Pavan, sir. So I'll move on to another topic now, which is about, yes, please. Somebody saying something? So is this PPT visible to you? The next topic for today is, do we need a break, ma'am? Or do I move on to the next topic right away? If you need to take a break for 2 minutes, grab some water or tea or coffee, whatever. It's too cold today.
Yes, ma'am, we can take a break. Okay, we can take a very short break of 2 minutes. Then we'll resume with the session.
Okay.
Or we can take a break of 5 minutes, ma'am.
Whatever.
So we can, after 5 minutes, we can resume with the session.
Sure, sure.
Sharp at 3.
Okay, I'll stop this. Are we back?
So welcome back all the participants, and Garima ma'am is already here with us, and now she will talk on ICT, use of ICT in English language teaching. Am I right, ma'am?
That's right, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. So over to you, and you can start the session now. Thank you.
Thank you. So welcome back, friends. And now we're going to talk about ICT. So again, what do you think is ICT? ICT in English language education. So what is ICT? Are we back? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Thank you. So our national policy on ICT in school education says that curriculum for students should be designed in such a manner that promotes creativity, problem solving, and introduce them to world of information and communication technology with specific purpose of widening their horizons. Am I audible? I've not yet started sharing my PPT. So Walter McKenzie says that a new age demands a new paradigm. This is a new age, different from what we did, from we learned. And then Craig Barrett says, with the help of technology, teachers will be leaders in transformation of education around the world. So we as teachers are leaders of transformation. We effect transformation when we teach students in our classroom. We are not just teaching English, we are effecting a transformation in their lives. That is what we are doing. And ICT is an important tool, a tool of the new world, and it gives a new paradigm to us. So ICT refers to, now, is there anybody who would like to share what is written over here? What is ICT? What is IT over here? Okay, IT is information technology and CT is communication technology. So we have two things, information and communication. And we use electronic equipment or technology for using the information, storing, analyzing, sending information. So we have electronic equipment which we are using these days, mobiles, tablets, laptops. I'm doing it right now. And I'm storing some information, I'm analyzing some information, and I'm sending information to you. CT refers to process of sending, receiving, exchanging information. So both the things, communication and information. Now, ICT-enabled teaching is a process of using ICT tools in teaching learning to enhance students' learning. As I said in the beginning, the National Framework for ICT talks about students getting creativity, problem-solving skills, and then use of technology with a purpose, with a specific purpose. This is something we are all very familiar with, and we would be using Bloom's taxonomy to understand that ICT, how important ICT is. Okay, so we talked about information. Information would be where in this pyramid. Information. ICT was information technology and communication technology. So in create, evaluate, analyze, apply, understand, or remember, where do you think you would put information? Okay, information would come in the bottommost part of this pyramid, which is to remember, and also a little to understand and apply. But when we come to communication, we are basically analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So we are using these skills read by all of us in Bloom's taxonomy in ICT. These are some of the tools that we could use. I hope you're able to read that. There are 7 of them given over here. And I'll be using two other than these also in the session today. Okay, there are these 8 advantages of using ICT in English language. Okay. So as you must have seen, I have given you so much of information in the last 30 to 40 minutes. So this is the first point, that you can give information within a fraction of seconds. Learners become more innovative with the help of e-learning. We'll see how innovative we can become in this session. And then when we use ICT, it enables our students to have skills to work in this fast-changing competitive world. As it is, many students must have learned how to use, put on their cameras, how to switch off their mics, how to use WhatsApp for sending their homeworks, and different things. So English lessons which have multimedia applications, not just multimedia, but multimedia applications, they motivate our students a lot. And many students who never responded in the classroom start responding because they are not bored if they have multimedia lessons. Multimedia means cartoons and audio visuals that we use, different kind of medias in our classrooms. And also ICT enables both teachers and students to work with current and authentic information. In textbooks or sometimes in our classrooms, we are not able to use current information as much as we can do with ICT. I just need to open a site, take information from there and share it with you. That's what I've been doing. Open a site, take some information and share it with you straight away. It's not going to take a lot of time for me. But if in a face-to-face class, I had to do this without a PowerPoint presentation or something, or an electronic media, it would become very difficult for me to do that. And then it improves learners' interaction, verbal involvement, and collaborative learning. Here, students learn independently because they are all sitting independently. They're all doing work on their own. They are not taking help from others as much. So they're also learning independently. And importantly, pictorial description is also available. So these are some strategies which White and Ray presented as regards to ICT. When you start or looking at a lesson plan for an ICT class, we are all taking lessons on WhatsApp, Zoom, Google Meet, some electronic media, some electronic technology. So when you do that, please remember these things when you write your lesson plans, because I'm sure your HOS must have asked you to write plans, write diaries, and share it with them. So when you do that, you must keep these things in mind. The knowledge of the subject that you're doing, obviously you will have it. And the lessons that you plan must appeal to all learning styles. As you would know, there are different learning styles. Would you like to share how many learning styles you know? learning styles, the styles in which students learn. Some could be auditory, some could be visual, some could be kinesthetic, some could be audio visual. So these are different learning styles, and your lessons should appeal to all learning styles. So your lessons should have um, parts from all these learning styles. And then the lesson plan should facilitate the content. You should be able to facilitate the content that you have. You should be able to deliver it. Now that I have a PPT, it's not just that I'm reading from the PPT, but I'm also explaining it, trying you to help understand it. And then you have to create platforms for learning. Different platforms where student would learn different things. For example, I shared some samples with you. I shared some tips with you in the last PPT, in the last session on writing skills. So you have to create platforms where students would learn. And then these documents should be available to every student. Now, not just that, I'm sharing my PPT just with a few of you, like just 10 of you. I'm sharing it with everybody. So it is available to every student. And then I have communicated clear goals to you that I'm doing writing skills. I will be doing ICT. So whatever you are doing, your lesson should have clearly mentioned it. And then you can establish social networking. Apart from this, you are also on a Telegram group. So in case you need to access the people who missed something, there is the Telegram group. You keep asking questions, you get answers, you get solutions, you get ideas in the group. So social networking is important in this e-learning ICT thing. And then you have you have to list the course pathways, as in you would have different courses, different. So the coordinator, Chanchal ma'am, has provided you with the list of sessions, what timings they are, what are the facilitators, who are the facilitators, and how would you go about it. If there are any changes, you are communicated about. So there's a list of how the course is going, how the sessions are going. And then the available resources that you have, please make effective use of that in your lesson plan. Please just show that, reflect it in your lesson plans. And the expectation should be clearly mentioned in your lesson plans. These are some tools. I will come back and you can access it on the PPT when I share it on the Telegram. These are more links and books that you could use. So I will move on to the next part of this session, of the ICT session.
मैम लास्ट स्लाइड दिखाना एक बार, थैंक यू से पहले वाली.
Okay, just a minute. I'll do that. You want this one?
Yeah, ma'am, thank you.
Okay. So I'll come to the next part of this session. So this is the link. If you're able to see the slide over here. Are you able to see the slide here? So this is the ICT curriculum, but then you would have important points over here, which the government would expect you to use in the ICT thing. There's another side you could use to have access to ICT ideas. Now I'll just have some interactive session with you. You are all on either tablets or mobiles, I guess. Are you? So I'd like to demonstrate to you how to use ICT in your classrooms. ICT is not just using audio visual methods or a lesson preparation or just having a video right like I'm doing and then giving some information. It is helping students learn creativity, having them problem solving methods, and giving them introduction to the latest technology so that they are able to work in the present competitive world. So, if you have a browser, it could be, I would need you to work on a browser now. You know what is a browser? You would have Internet Explorer or Google Chrome. If you could go there and just type nearpod.com, nearpod.com. This is an exercise that I would need all of you to do. It is really interesting if you could do that. Nearpod.com. Is this visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to go to your browser, Internet Explorer or Google or Chrome or whatever you have and type nearpod.com. Click enter and then see what opens. A Nearpod page will open up for you.
You will wonder how you taught without it. ये तो इसमें students join lesson आ गया मैम.
Yes, join a lesson. If you have to join a lesson, please click on join a lesson as a student. And then there is a code over here, ZGBMD, if you'll be able to see on the screen. So this is the link to join.
Your teacher will give you a code to join the lesson.
That's right. So this is the code to join. I'll just start. Please let me know when you are ready.
No, ma'am, invalid code show हो रहा है इसमें is again show ma'am again code.
Okay, I'll just type it. Wait a minute. The chat.
Ma'am, you mute. You're not audible.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. So are you able to see the code? I've put it up in the chat box. I have put it up on chat box, the code.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome to your lesson.
Okay.
Name भरना इसमें मैम. Philip.
Okay, I'm just waiting. Nobody has been able to join. It says 0 connected. Okay, Sunil Kumar has joined. Harsha?
Yeah, ma'am, I have joined.
Okay. Are you able to work on it?
No, ma'am, I have been signed out.
How many students have joined?
Okay, I can see students now. Sunil, Pavan. Can you see the questions, Sunil and Pavan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Pratibha and Subitar. So you can start answering them and then you can start climbing.
Yes, ma'am.
So Sunil has 668 points. Pavan has 557. Please start working. We have only 4 players right now. I'm sorry for a little delay. We have 6 persons who have joined in. And they are all climbing the mountains. So now Pavan has taken the lead. Please join in, all of you. I'm sure you love playing this game. We have just 8 questions. I have not added too many questions because this is just a sample. I can see only 6 people have joined. How many participants are there, ma'am? Chanchal ma'am?
Ma'am, please tell again
Ma'am,
how to.
including you and me, we are 31.
Okay. So there are 29 people, out of which only 6 have joined.
Garima ma'am, please give instructions how to join.
Okay, there was a browser and you needed to type nearpod.com on that. I displayed it on the screen and then there was a code which I typed in the chat box. When you enter nearpod.com, you need to type that code
Students.
as a student, yeah. Send again. So this is something that you could use for assessment also of your students. When you say that your students may cheat or they may, take help from somebody. Now Deepa is on top. I can't see. Okay, Pavan is there. Deepa is on top. Sunil is on second point. Okay, overall leaders, we have finished it. We were 7 of us. Sonia just joined. So Sonia, you could not answer any of the questions. So the ones who did, do you think I need to launch this again in case you are all interested? I could launch this again.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll do this. So, okay, I'll just wait for a minute so that everybody can join in. I'll give the instructions again. Nearpod.com, NEARPOD. I'll just type it in the chat box. Please type in your browser nearpod.com, and then when you have Nearpod displayed on your screens, you have to use this code as a student. I'm sorry. Use this code as a student. I'll wait for half minute and then I'll start it again. I have
Ma'am,
some questions.
image of mountain is there.
That's right. So the mountain is there. You need to climb. Start climbing the mountain.
How, ma'am? It is written code and exit. Only two things are there. Actually, now it's moving.
Can you see it moving now?
No, ma'am, here it is written. Please wait for your
Please
teacher
wait for
to
your
start the
teachers to
lesson.
start the lesson. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Started. So for the new session, you'll have a different code now. I'll share it with you. For this session, you'll have this code. I have shared it on the chat. Please use this code to log in now again. I'm sorry for that because one had already ended. And this is the second session of the Nearpod. So I'm using a different code.
मैम इसे लीव करके दोबारा करेंगे?
नहीं उसी कोड के अंदर. Yeah, you'll have to leave this session and then type in another code. Yeah, type in another code.
Yeah, ma'am, I have joined.
Okay. Okay, I have 5 people with me who have joined now. And they have already started the session. If you have not joined, please join it soon. I may not be able to do a third session now. This is what you can do with your students. So there's 6 people climbing the mountain. 8. Deepa and Suman have also joined. I have Harsha, Sunil, Pavan, Pratibha, Sonia, Sudhanshu, Deepa and Suman. Deepa and Suman, please start answering the questions. I'm sure you will be able to see the questions. So we have Harsha leading at the top, 2612 points, followed by Sunil, 2580 points. And then on third place is Pavan. Now the place has changed. Third place is taken by Pratibha. Pavan has moved to fourth place. Deepa and Suman, you have also joined in. You have started answering the questions. So we have again Harsha leading. There are still 2 more questions to be answered. We have done 6 questions. I think there are network issues as well. People are joining and leaving. So the last question to be answered now, and we still have Harsha in the lead. Last attempt for you. Suman and Deepa have moved on. Pratibha is at the second position. Let's see who the final winners are. Okay. Okay, great. We have Harsha with 7059 points, then followed by Pratibha at 6885 points. Third place, Sunil with 5966 points, and Pavan 5500 points. Thanks to all and claps to all. So this is how you could do game on nearpod.com, and there are different lessons that you could prepare. I just copied these questions from the, I'll just share the links with you. So I just copied these questions from a link, put them up as a teacher in the Nearpod section. And there are different types of games. When you visit Nearpod as a teacher, you need to log in either Google or your own email ID, which you are doing for different number of things. For example, if you're logging into Zoom or Google Meet, whichever platform you're using for your online classes, you're already using a link. So you'll use your email ID or your Google ID to log in as a teacher in nearpod.com. It's free for a limited part. And then you have different kind of games. This was one game that I used with you. The different games that you could use and then put up questions. Now there is another, I'll just share. Another part with you. So I'm typing a link in the chat box. I've typed a link in the chat box. You need to click on that. When you click, a page will be opened and you need to write what you've learned in this session over there. And write your name when you write your answers, when you write your remarks. Please write your name after that. Let me know if you are able to join. There's a link that I have typed in the chat box. Please click on that link. Okay, Sunil, you're not able to join? Okay, Snehlata has joined. So try again, Sunil. Suman has joined. There could be some network issue. It takes time sometimes. So 3 of you have joined. When you click on a plus sign on the page, there's a plus sign on the page. Click on that. And then there will be a box for you, part for you where you need to write. Anything about this session, please write it and sign it with your name. Thank you, Sunil. So there are 4 people who have joined. The rest, you may click on that and join as well. I'm just giving you an experience of how you could use different things with your students using ICT for your classrooms, English language teaching. You could have different questions. I'm sure you would have been using Google Forms. You would have been using various things on Zoom. You would have been using videos, audios. So that's why I'm not sharing that with you. Making questions on Google Forms and then sharing content on PPT. That's the way I have been doing. I'll share the links with you. When you access the PPT, you'll be able to. Okay, please start writing on the Padlet. Chanchal ma'am, how much time do we have right now for the session? Chanchal ma'am, are you there?
Ma'am, how to write not clear?
There's a plus sign on the page. Can you access the page? There's a plus sign on the page. On the bottom of the page, there's a plus sign. Click on the plus sign and then you'll be able to write. So you could keep doing that even after the session, because the time for the session is already over. I'm not sure if Chanchal ma'am is there. It was still 3:30 and you have session starting at next session starting at 4. So this is something that you could do. Padlet. This is called Padlet. You could also access. Oh, security warning. Doesn't matter. You could send your feedback, your responses, even after the session is over, even at night, whenever you want. Padlet is something that you could use. Padlet is not live, as in you need not write just now. You could keep the link with you and then access it. I'll just check whatever is wrong. Thanks, Jayanti, for sharing. I'll just check what is security warning, and then you could share your feedback on Padlet. So we had demonstrations of Padlet and Nearpod, and I shared a few links, some ICT tools, and some books with you, along with how to prepare a lesson plan. I just hope it will be helpful for you. Thanks a lot for joining in. If Chanchal ma'am is there, would you like to say something? Chanchal ma'am?
No, ma'am, thank you. Thank you. So you are done with your session? So is
Yeah.
it over, ma'am?
Yeah,
Ma'am,
thank you.
your session is over now?
Yes,
Okay, thank
thanks.
you. Thank you very much, ma'am. And I think our participants must have enjoyed it. Actually, I was a bit busy in some other tasks, so I couldn't see your session. This one, previous one, I've I was there in the previous one, but right now I was a bit busy. So I think that it was a quite fruitful session for all of us. And now it's a time for break, and it will be a short break of 20 minutes, and see you exactly at 4. So thank you very much, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Chandra ma'am. Thanks all for joining in and participating. Thanks a lot.
So welcome back everyone. And now we have Dr. Chandini Agarwal with us, and she is taking the topic on cyberbullying and security. And she is an expert in this field. And I welcome Chandini ma'am to this session. And I hope every participant is here now. Participants, can you hear me?
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. And good evening, everyone. Good evening, participants. And today's session is, it's a need of our.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. And we are starting with the presentation. That will be the presentation come discussion, moreover. So we are touching upon the all sensitive topics. I'll try to touch and to cover the basic concepts that is much more required for everyone during this pandemic, and also which is very useful for us during the online teaching. Obviously, in our day-to-day life, we encounter so many things. So let's start with this. So digital safety first in the cyber world. So it is much more required concept when we are spending most of our time in the virtual world rather than in the real world. So agenda for today's presentation is knowing about the safe digital footprints, cyber threats around us, and self-awareness and safety first. So we are trying to aware with the safety on when we are online. Then we will discuss about some COVID-19 cyber attacks, how to identify any fake news, cyber bullying and digital law, cyber hygiene, and at the end, how to report for a cyber crime. So without wasting the time, let's begin. We all, almost we all are involved in digital world for so many things, for net banking, Google search, shopping online, watching movies online, Facebook, Instagram, social media. We are so much social on social media. Now we are taking our online classes also. So till 2010, the classroom evolution was there were traditional classrooms, and then if we talk about till 2019, all ICT enabled traditional classrooms, teachers were dealing with combination of online offline media. So but the classrooms were not completely transformed into the remote classrooms, but in 2020 we have seen this also. So this year brought opportunity as well as some kind of threats. With the opportunities we have some threats. So let's see. If you can scan this QR code, or if you are not able to scan this code, you can go to the link I have shared in the chat window. I'll show you on the screen only. I have shared one link in the chat window. Click on that link and just give a small security pass. Just like we go anywhere, we have to pass some security. So you have to find out your security level by giving these answers. Please click on this. If you have any problem, you can put on the chat window. So friends, I am showing the responses. Okay, I am sending the link again. So I have sent the link again in the chat window. So till now 3 responses I have got from this group. So already so many teachers have gone through this. So during my session, I always ask these basic questions. The
Hello,
digital
ma'am. I have
safety.
submitted all the answers.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, I am showing the general views through this form. Like till the time all friends are filling up the form, we can see the trending answers. So you can see what people are sending, and if we see the percentage of the answers in a graphical form, this is just to know little bit about you. So if we see for the first question, how many of you change your password? Let the answers come, then I'll discuss. So I mean, very few responses we have received, but I think everyone is filling this. Kindly fill your view. Is there any problem coming in accessing this form? It's nice. Sonia Verma ma'am has done. Kavita Yadav ma'am has done. So let's see the responses and discuss what is the general trend for these particular questions. So if we see, this is how often. So very rarely people they change the password, and maximum people they prefer free apps and software for helping tools in teaching. Which email ID? They most of them use personal ID for downloading the software or accessing the resources. So let's see which search engine do you use. Maximum people they gave the answer like 96% people give answer Google, whereas 83% of them answered free apps and software. 58% of people answered yes, and majority answered out of that for free app. So they are receiving spam mails, but 83% of them, a big number, are downloading free apps. You have to see this scenario. 39% people say no, they don't check the license of digital resources, whereas 89% of them are downloading free app and softwares. So this is this is the analysis. You can keep on giving your answers. So this give us lead to know more about the feedback of the why a person can be a cyber victim. So let's move further. This is your digital footprint, and like in generally we know that we have footprints, but you have heard several times that there is always fingerprints of a criminal which helps to catch him. But in the digital world, yes, there are digital footprints which always remain there. So you should be careful about what you share, where you share, and with whom you share. And you should be smart enough about which sites you are visiting, which email you open, and which links you click. So be yourself, but be your best self. So if we talk about the changing trends, this is what happens. So every minute, the scenario is changing, and during the lockdown, the watch hours of Netflix has tremendously increased, and most of the thoughtful thing is the most of the scene content was pornography, and especially child pornography, which gives us a kind of alarming state. And although other things, social media, tweets, everything increased during these days because entire world has become online. So these are the probable risk. Like the cyberbullying is it's common in the teenagers, these kind of risk, because they hide their identity, they hide everything from where? From their parents, from the elders, but they are open to the world. Cyberbullying, I'll discuss in detail. Cyber stalking is like someone is stalking you in the cyber world, and after that, most of the people, they become anyhow victim of any kind of cyber threat. Cyber predation is blackmailing online. So people blackmail online to the kids, or sometimes some adults are also trapped in the cyber predation. Cyber terrorism is a kind of next attack on, on some of the countries, and world is under the terror of cyber terrorism. And now there is no requirement of any bomb or anything. There is, through cyber attacks are enough to destroy any nation. Like Corona, no one has thought about that. Corona has give the effect, after effect is more than after effect of a war. People are losing their life. So in the same way, there is a cyber terror. Next is the trolling. And unfortunately, some teachers have faced this problem of trolling, because during online classes, where students, they are they are expressing their ill feelings on social media by trolling their favorite teachers also, or trolling the teachers who are struggling with them in teaching online. So this is the probable risk. Data safety, identity theft, and the password security. Cyber pornography is also a big risk when our young ones are online, or some dating apps, or some there are some AI apps which work according to the words, and the camera automatically move accordingly the speech. So this is a big risk for the kids. Also, fake identities and impersonation is again a problem, that someone is imitating you and doing crime on your behalf. Email spamming, getting bulk mail is email spamming. Phishing is again like you are entering any website address you are clicking. Chanchal ma'am, am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, in case of phishing, when you, why we say always type the address, because in case of phishing, you get some links, and when you click that, and you are going to a false site, which is looking like a real site. And then we give our credentials, and then we again become a victim of the cyber trap. Then data stealing, misuse of credential, and malware are some more probable risks. So let's know something about how to make our search safe search. So let's, I'll just go through all these points. So like checking website authenticity and acknowledging the source, first I'll tell you, because rest of the things I am explaining you in the meanwhile. So whenever you are taking any source from somewhere, you should acknowledge the and give the references. So always check authenticity padlock. So you can see there is a lock. So click on this lock and you can check all the certificate, cookies and the site setting for authentication of that particular site you are using. Then we downloading images from Google. Now this concept is little bit changed, and here if I write google.com and you are searching for any image, say I am searching for Taj Mahal and I want to use it, but I want to use the images under Creative Commons license. So always use Creative Commons licenses for your work, for creating lesson plan or for any other thing, and acknowledge and give reference. Like when you click here, you can see the reference of this image. You can give the reference of the image wherever you are using this image. So I will share a link how to use resources under Creative Commons license and have safe search for the, I mean, this is a small 5 minutes video. Just because of shortage of time, I'm not covering some more points of Google Chrome safe search, so that you can see for more explanation, and you can download your YouTube videos which are under Creative Commons license, so that you cannot be fall into any kind of copyright infringement act. So image search, this is the way how you can, we most of the time we are writing text and we are finding the images. So this is called image based search. So this method is called reverse image search method, which is used in cybersecurity to find out where the image is being used. So if I upload one image and see, I am uploading one image and you can find out, it will identify the image and it will give you the result, like it will show you visually similar images. So this image is exactly this image I have downloaded, right? So how we can use it in our classroom? We can create image based quizzes, but how we can use it for cyber security? We can upload our image and see whether this image has been misused or not. We can post any the image which is on fake profile and upload here and find out the source of that particular image. Most of the time the people who are imitating your favorite star or or any other person, you can find out the source of that image using this method. Even when you are following some person on social media, please see the green tick for the authentication if you are following any celebrity. So next point is we are using search engines, and 96% people have given that you are using Google Chrome, and Google Chrome has our complete horoscope with him because we are doing everything using Google. So Google search engine is using third party cookies which sends your data outside for commercial purpose. But if you are, if you want to show your identity anonymous, you can use incognito mode, especially while making some net banking or any kind of sensitive work. DuckDuckGo is another search engine which search anonymously and don't send your data out as a cookies to the third party. So you can note down this address. This is duckduckgo.com. Next is email ID is your digital address, right? and password is a key to many locks. Most of the time we are keeping our same password for every site, and especially we are saving the password like sharing the common name or something which is easily guessed. So I request everyone, just go to this site. I'll just write the link in the chat window once I demonstrate this to you. The site, the tool is Have I Been Pawned? So actually we are registering our email IDs with Zomato, Swiggy, with so many uh, with so many platforms from where we are downloading our free software or free app. You always seen we are entering our email address to use any free tool. How many of you are agree with this? Just say yes in the chat window. When we are using any free tool, it is asking us to give the email ID. Yes or no? Kindly give answer in the chat window quickly. Yes. So can you imagine what happened with our data? So I have shared the link of this tool in the chat window. Just see, I enter my email ID. Even my email ID has breach. See, there are two breaches. One is in May 2019 and one is in May 2017. So, and I am using this email ID at so many places. This is my basic email ID, personal email ID, which I am using so many times. So, it has sent compromised with email address, graphic location, name, password, and username. At Modo, compromised data is email address, password, and username. What happened in this website is collecting the data. If you can see, these are the largest breaches happened. So they are recording which website or which company is hacking. So recently added breaches are, so people are adding breaches here. So many accounts are, like you can see, so many accounts are breached. So what you can do, you can check whether your email ID has found some breach or not. Go to that particular, go to your email ID, find out these IDs. Like if you are getting message from Canva or Edmodo, quickly unsubscribe. So the gone is gone, but for future, what you can do, that is the main thing. So what you can do, you can change your password if you have not changed. And for downloading the free app or software, create a dummy ID. When you create a dummy ID, then there is less risk of compromising your personal ID. So this is some of the suggestion for having password. So have a big password rather than having a small password. So some companies have made the rule that the employees should have 16 characters password and use passphrases in place of password. So like if I have a sentence, the road to success is always under construction. So you can take the first letter of every sentence, word. So as English teachers, you know so many phrases. Make some of the phrases as your passphrase and create a password. So these are easy to remember. Passwords are relatively easy to guess or crack. Even many people are writing passwords in a diary. And I remember one incident. One lady was entering all the passwords.
Ma'am, I have checked my email. I have not any breaches.
Very nice.
I have not found any breaches.
Very nice. So you are fortunate. So try to create another ID and try to avoid unwanted software. Nice. So she was writing everything in the diary and in a document, and her ID is hacked, and so all the passwords. So write down passphrase anywhere, and you know the trick how you are creating your passwords. So password is the key to your digital door. Be careful, hacker may be your known. So most of the in some of the cases, hacker was a known one. So I just want to know what all should not be posted online. Please write down in the chat window. Instead of it, just tell me what out of these 8, what we can post. Out of these 8 choices, what we can post. You just write down in the chat window what we can post online out of these 8. I think if the session is interactive, then audience will also enjoy, but no one is answering. I think it's a tea time. Yes, verified news. So now as we are going, as we are moving in the session, you will come to know so many new things. So verified news can be posted online. Yes, second option. Yes, I am waiting for other answers. Yes, verified news can be posted. So wonderful audience I have today. Okay, now coming to our digital millennials. So these are the digital millennials, are mainly our youth, our young generation. So this is this is the current scenario. I think you all are agree with this. So like if we talk about the benefit of social media, even like if I am taking your session today, this is again the advantage of social media, that we are connected with so many groups, so many authorities, so many people. It's just because of social media, and WhatsApp is a big contribution. Facebook is a big contribution to our virtual social group. Rather than we don't have so many friends in real world, but we have a big group on social media. So this is, this is the good point of social media. Like we are be creative, share their own ideas. So many people have started business even through the social media. But yes, there are some of the risk. So spending too much time online and being disconnected from the real world is one of the risks. Being the victim of online bullying, it and online reputation also. So if we are posting everything, like some people, they have their public profile, and people have some kind of very idealistic image in their mind, and if they start writing something on social media or anything, so it becomes a kind of news. Even if anyone writes defame anyone, it may also damage the online reputation. So having your personal information shared online, being harassed or annoyed by someone you don't want attention from, being the victim of an online scam, and having reduced self-esteem for some teenagers. Now what happened, they are posting their pictures in different poses and then continuously checking their phones. So new term I'll tell you, it's a nomophobia. Nomophobia is a new kind of problem with teenagers. It's a no mobile. So if you take their mobile, they will feel restless. They have anxiety if their battery is low. So this is a kind of nomophobia, is new disease in the teenagers. So let's move to the next point, is the cyberbullying. If you can see, there are various forms of cyberbullying. Making fun of another user in the chat rooms is also, this is cyberbullying. Harassing a user over instant messaging session, posting derogatory messages on users social network pages. So we have seen, it's not like kids are facing cyberbullying, even teachers are also facing cyberbullying on social media. Students are creating memes with derogatory messages and posting it on Instagram. Can you tell me a recent case happened? I'll just tell you the second part. Is the one is a lockers boy room. incident happened. I think most of you know about that. So, but they caught, and they are the school kids. Even some students, they are harassing teachers with some kind of, sexting, commenting with, and through their fake ID or impersonated ID, circulating rumor about another on social media, and sending unwanted email messages. Even repeatedly calling from another person's cell phone comes under cyberbullying. Threatening or provocative emails. So how to deal with the case? I would like to discuss these two cases. A girl from class 9 was abused and threatened by the relative, and she was tortured and given some drugs also. So relative, he was sending abusive messages and threaten her that he will tell her parents that she has a boyfriend. So she was scared to confide in her parents because of the fear that her parents would not believe her. So keeping the lesson learned is keeping silent is not a solution. So never be scared of telling your parents the truth. Make sure you have to complain about such kind of problems to police and seek help from authorities. So you can deal cases of cyberbullying or any other cybercrime with your kids. And I am coming to the more points also how you can deal in a better way. So a 7th class standard girl was blackmailed by adult who keep on asking for nude pictures. So that girl refused, but that blackmailer hacked her social media account and took the revenge by morphing her pictures on nude people, posting the face on that and posted online. So girl was embarrassed and even thought of committing suicide, and this kind of crime is called revenge porn. When some people under revenge posting the porn for the kids. So be strong and face the situation wisely. Don't afraid of such offenders. And recently I have also got a case that 30 years girl, and she is a good professional makeup artist, and she was posting her pictures and gave a real phone number on Instagram. So one person morphed her pictures and sent blackmailing messages with the photographs that he will publish all these photographs on social media and asking for wrong act, also about the amount. So such kind of cases are on high. So we have to deal with the kids also. How to deal with cyberbullying? So the main thing is, tell the kids, think before you post. Is it true you are posting? Is it hurtful? Is it illegal? Is it necessary? And is it kind? Can they speak this thing in public? Because posting on a big social media is very easy, sitting in a closed room. So they think that we are sitting in a closed room, but their message is reaching to entire world. So some points are: only add people online when you know them offline. Remember, what you post, that remains always online. Don't share personal information. Don't install unwanted software apps such as dating apps from unknown resources. If you feel upset after reading a post, don't react immediately. Sometimes people enjoy irritating someone. Block the person and report for the incident. So stop cyberbullying, log off, block emails or messages, save the message or email, show it to an adult, tell someone you trust. Otherwise, what the kids do, they delete the message. But tell them, keep the messages. Even you also, in case of cyber victim, always save the snapshots. So kindly, Chanchal ma'am, can you paste the link in the chat window? Or otherwise, I'll try to paste the link in the chat window.
Okay, ma'am, I'll do.
Okay, ma'am. Please, I have shared the link with you on WhatsApp. So, dear participants, please click on www.menti.com and use this code and write down there only one term you think about the cyberbullying. So I am moving to Mentimeter. I think no one has joined till. So ma'am has shared the Mentimeter link in the chat window. Kindly click on the link and you will see you have to write down only one word and see what is the major concern. It will appear on the screen. So you can write any one form of cyberbullying. It is only 2 minutes activity as because of the session time is going to over. So I'll just move. Okay, making fun. Yes. So I think Chanchal ma'am, no one is interested in doing the activity. So I'll move to my presentation and let them write if they want. So digital, if we talk about digital etiquettes, some of the golden rules are: be positive in your online behavior, treat others online the way you wish to be treated, learn to say no and accept no, don't post anything that you would not like to last for ever. So you need to tell these to students, and remember to be respectful when writing something on social media. This is social media etiquettes. So if we talk about digital law, these are the legal rights and restrictions which are by governing technology. So if you see, plagiarism is also an offensible act, imprisonment for a term ranging from 6 months to 3 years with fine. Plagiarism is taking someone's work without informing or without referencing. Impersonation means imitating any person on net. Revenge porn, I have told you. Unauthorized access is imprisonment up to 2 to 3 years. For revenge porn, imprisonment up to 7 years. And defaming any person on net, the imprisonment up to 2 to 3 years or both. So for cyberbullying, under section 506, harming the reputation of child or any person who is related to the child is cyberbullying with intent to cause harm or the child is bound. For this, imprisonment up to 2 years or fine of both. Section 509 IPC, if the child is girl child, then imprisonment increased up to 3 years with fine. Let's have a quick look at COVID-19 cyber attacks. Email message based attacks were on high because of COVID-19. Many people got such kind of messages on WhatsApp, on messages or through the mail, and just by clicking on this link they are trapped and they just forward it to a site which is not for them, and it takes all their credentials and the data. Sometimes the spyware is also installed in the phone, and this trick is called clickbaiting. Fake mobile apps like in Arogya Setu, there are 1A, 2A is there. So apps with single A was downloaded by people, and again those were the fake apps stealing data from the mobile. Similarly, pmcares.sbi was the correct address, but pmcare@sbi has received amount from the users. So always authenticate fake news. This is a small checklist for fake news. Always check whether it is current or old. Clickbait trick I have told you. Check for the spelling or the character of the website. Check who is sending your news and what is the intention after the news. I am quickly telling you how to check whether a news is old or new. Nice. People are writing the words. So how to check whether a news is old or new? Just go to Google and say COVID-19 medicine, or you can write the news you got. Go to news and go to tools, it will give you like past hour. So all the news posted in past 1 hour is shown here. So if you got any news, you can check. Very nice, you are writing. I am waiting for your words also. Then these are cyber hygiene tips. Like in COVID, we have campaign like दो गज की दूरी है जरूरी जब तक दवाई नहीं आती types. So these are the some of the cyber hygiene tips. Like self isolate your data means don't share with unknown people and so many people. Monitor your accounts and passwords. Practice social distancing from unknown senders. Use protective equipment such as antivirus. Avoid contact with suspicious mail or messages. Clean your computer and mobile devices to be safe. So at the end, I will tell you how to report cybercrime. You can share this with your kids. Helpline number is 1098. In case of any kind of crime happen with children, ncpcr.gov also allows them to report for any kind of crime happen with them under Child Right Protection Act. And if anyone is a cyber victim, what you can do, the first step is report on the platform where the crime happened, such as if it is a banking site, then you can report on that banking site, immediately block your cards and block your account, call to the bank authentic number. Don't scroll, don't Google search your bank number, you will be in trouble. Check your authentic website address, type it, and then take the helpline number or talk to your relation manager of bank. If it happens on social media platform, just go, every platform gives the way to report the crime. And after that, cybercrime.gov.in is official national cybercrime reporting portal. Here action happens. And the third, go to your nearest police station and give FIR with the cyber cell. So this is, you can scan this code, QR code, and download the app. This is published by me for public interest. And this is containing all the information you are searching for. This is one-stop solution. You can explore it at your end, but only I can tell you this contains helpline numbers. This contains the method of complaint, cyber complaint, and videos and webinars related to cyber security, not from my channel, from all other YouTube. They are in the playlist. Also, this is available in 5 different languages: Hindi, English, Gujarati, Tamil, and Telugu, just to give more wide area of awareness to the public. So thank you so much. And now I am here for your queries. Although 5 minutes are over, but if there is any query, you are feel free to ask. So we have received only 8 responses. Ma'am, how many participants are there? $34. So out of 34, only 6 have responded. So thank you so much for those 6 who have responded to the activity. I think when we are learning something, we should be active learner rather than the passive learner. So this, we have to tell our students also this technique. So is there any question? Yes, Chanchal ma'am, from your side.
Yes, ma'am. I suppose there is no question. So thank you, ma'am, Chandi ma'am. So it was really a nice session. Even I enjoyed it again. Even in the morning and now even in the evening, I enjoyed it a lot. So thank you. Thanks a lot. And participants, now for the next session, we'll take 3 minutes break and we'll join back at 4:50. Thank you. It's a very short break of 3 minutes and we'll join sharp at 4:50. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
So welcome back. Welcome all the participants. And now we can start our session after a very short break. Now we have with us Mr. S.P. Singh and he will be talking on disaster management. Welcome, sir. And over to you without wasting any time. I just pass it to the sir and sir, you can start with your session. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, ma'am. One minute. गुड इवनिंग फ्रेंड्स, आवाज आ रही है?
जी सर आ रही है।
ओके ओके। आज की प्रेजेंटेशन में हम बात करेंगे डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट के बारे में, जो एक जनरल टॉपिक के रूप में इन सर्विस ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम में रखा गया। इसमें हम समझेंगे आपदा है क्या, हम आपदा का प्रबंधन कैसे करते हैं, भारत में आपदा का प्रबंधन कैसे किया जाता है, एनडीएमए एक्ट आने के बाद हमारी थिंकिंग कैसे चेंज हुई, और एज ए स्कूल टीचर हमें इसे जानना क्यों जरूरी है। सबसे पहले बात करते हैं डिजास्टर की। आपदा होती क्या है? कोई भी ऐसी बाधा जो हमारे किसी समाज या समुदाय को सुचारू रूप से कार्य करने में व्यापक क्षति पहुंचाती है। वो भौतिक भी हो सकती है, इकोनॉमिकल भी हो सकती है, सोशल भी हो सकती है, एनवायरमेंटल भी हो सकती है। इस तरह की बाधा जब बृहद रूप ले लेती है तो वह एक आपदा के रूप में बदल जाती है। यानी जो हजार्ड है, एक सिंपल हजार्ड जब सुभेद्यता से मिल जाता है, अवेलेबिलिटी से मिल जाता है, तो वह एक डिजास्टर बन जाता है। सिंपल हम अगर बताएं तो कोई भी आपदा पहले एक संकट होता है, वह सुभेद्यता से मिलकर के जोखिम को बढ़ा देता है और आपदा के रूप में बदल जाता है। डिजास्टर नेचुरल होता है या मैनमेड होता है। नेचुरल को भी हमने कई हिस्सों में डिवाइड किया है, मेट्रोलॉजिकल है, ट्रॉपिकल है, इन्वायरमेंटल है। मैनमेड टेक्नोलॉजिकल है या इंडस्ट्रियल है, सिक्योरिटियल रिलेटेड है। जो नेचुरल डिजास्टर है उसमें चक्रवात है, बाढ़ है, भूकंप है, या ट्रॉपिकल में उल्कापिंड वगैरह से होने वाली ज्वालामुखी विस्फोट है। इस तरह के आपदा को हम रखते हैं। मैनमेड डिजास्टर में जनसंख्या विस्फोट है, आतंकवाद है, या भूस्खलन है, मृदा अपरदन है, इनको रखते हैं। हमें मूलतः इस सेशन में ये समझना है कि आपदा प्रबंधन हम कैसे करते हैं, विशेषकर भारत में। भारत एक विस्तृत जनसंख्या और क्षेत्रफल वाला देश है। क्षेत्रफल के हिसाब से हम 7वें स्थान पे आते हैं। हमारा जो एरिया है नॉर्थ हिमालयन से लेकर के जो भूकंप प्रभावित इलाका है, साउथ कोस्टल रीजन में चक्रवात और सुनामी आते रहते हैं। भारत एक मानसूनी जलवायु वाला देश है। यहाँ पे वर्षा के कारण बाढ़ आती रहती है। बहुत से सेंट्रल रीजन में सूखा भी आता है, राजस्थान है, गुजरात है, बुंदेलखंड है। यानी भारत एक ऐसा इलाका है, एक ऐसी जगह है, एक ऐसी संरचना फिजिकल रीजन पे बसा हुआ है कि कहीं सुनामी आती है, कभी इंडस्ट्रियल प्लेट खिसकती हैं तो भूकंप आ जाता है, कहीं लैंडस्लाइड हो जाती है। ऐसे कंडीशन में हमारे यहाँ कोई ना कोई आपदा आती रहती है। भारत के 36 राज्यों में 28 स्टेट और 8 जो हमारे केंद्र शासित प्रदेश हैं, उनमें 28 प्रदेश ऐसे हैं जिनमें जो आपदा प्रभावित इलाके हैं, आपदा संभावित क्षेत्र हैं। यानी लगभग भारत का 78% स्टेट आपदा संभावित इलाकों में आता है, जिसमें 58% भूकंप आते रहते हैं, 12% इलाकों में बाढ़ आती रहती है। हमारी जो कोस्टल एरिया है, कोस्टल लाइन है, जैसा हमें पता है कि 7516 किलोमीटर का इलाका है, उसमें लगभग 5700 किलोमीटर में कोई साइक्लोन और सुनामी आती रहती है। जो भी एग्रीकल्चर लैंड है उसमें 68% सूखे से ग्रसित, यानी हम 32% एग्रीकल्चर लैंड पे ही खेती करके भारत का काम चलाते हैं। इसके अलावा जो भी पहाड़ी इलाके हैं वहां पे भूस्खलन होता रहता है। 32% खेती होने के कारण अगर मानसून अच्छा नहीं हुआ तो भारत के बहुत से इलाकों पे किसान खेती नहीं कर पाता, वो मानसून पे निर्भर रहता है, आत्महत्या करता है। पहाड़ी इलाकों में अक्सर भूस्खलन होता रहता है, हिमस्खलन का खतरा रहता है। इस तरह की आपदाएं भारत में प्राचीन काल से ही है। ऐसा नहीं है कि आपदा आज आ रही है और हम आज इसका प्रबंधन कर रहे हैं और आज इसके लिए हम अध्ययन शुरू किए। आपदा प्राचीन काल से ही आती है, कई सभ्यताओं का विनाश कर दिया आपदा ने। हम इन आपदा के कारण डायनासोर का विनाश हो गया, मैमथ का विनाश हो गया, साइबेरिया जो बाघ थे उनका विनाश हो गया, यहाँ तक कि सिंधु घाटी या बेबीलोनिया सभ्यता के विनाश को भी हम आपदा का ही कारण मानते। और आपदा के प्रबंधन का वर्णन हमारे पुराने ग्रंथों में भी मिलता है, विशेषकर अर्थशास्त्र में। हमें ये देखना है कि हमारा आपदा प्रबंधन पहले क्या था और उसमें क्या परिवर्तन आया। जो भी पुराना हमारा आपदा प्रबंधन का दृष्टिकोण था वह राहत आधारित दृष्टिकोण था। बाद में हमने उसे समग्र एवं समन्वित दृष्टिकोण अपनाया। पहले बाढ़ आती थी, बाढ़ आने के बाद हम राहत कार्य में लग जाते, यानी घटना होने के बाद हम उसकी बात करते, उस पे रिलीफ देने की बात करते। जबकि 2000 के बाद हमने इस पे समग्र और समन्वय अपनाना शुरू किया, जिसका रिजल्ट डीडीएमए एक्ट, नेशनल डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट 2005 पारित हुआ। अब हम 3 चरण पे तैयारी करते हैं: आपदा आने से पहले, आपदा के समय और आपदा के बाद की तैयारी करते हैं। अब हमारा जो दृष्टिकोण है प्रोएक्टिव हो गया है, यानी हम अब सक्रिय दृष्टिकोण से आपदा को देखते हैं। आपदा आने से पहले तटीय इलाकों में हम वार्निंग सिस्टम अलर्ट करते हैं, मछुआरों को पानी में जाने से रोकते हैं। इन सारी गतिविधियों में एनडीएमए एक्ट 2005 का बहुत बड़ा योगदान रहा। एनडीएमए एक्ट नेशनल डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट के अनुसार नेशनल डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी बनाई गई। उस अथॉरिटी के पैरेलल स्टेट डेवलपमेंट मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी बनाई गई। डिस्ट्रिक्ट में डीडीएमए बनाया गया। एनडीएमए के अंतर्गत नेशनल लेवल पे इसका हेड प्राइम मिनिस्टर को बनाया गया। प्रधानमंत्री की अध्यक्षता में यह अथॉरिटी काम करती है। पहले 2001 के पहले जब कोई आपदा आती थी तो कृषि मंत्रालय उसको देखता था, अब इसे गृह मंत्रालय देखता है। एनडीएमए के सहयोग में ढेर सारी संस्थाएं बनाई गई, एनईसी बनाई गई, एसईसी बनाया, एनडीआरएफ बनाया गया। जो नेशनल एग्जीक्यूटिव काउंसिल बनाई गई उसको होम सेक्रेटरी लीड करते हैं। स्टेट्स एजुकेशनल काउंसिल को चीफ सेक्रेटरी देखते हैं। इससे डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट में नेशनल डिजास्टर रिस्पांस फोर्स बनाया गया, जो आपदा आने के बाद राहत एवं बचाव का कार्य दे। इसके लिए फाइनेंशियल अरेंजमेंट किए गए, नेशनल डिजास्टर रिस्पांस फंड बनाया गया, स्टेट डिजास्टर रिस्पांस फंड बनाया गया, डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे डिस्ट्रिक्ट डिजास्टर रिस्पांस फंड बनाया गया। सारा उद्देश्य ये था कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग की जाए, कैसे क्षमता निर्माण किया जाए, आपदा रोधी भारत कैसे बनाया जाए, एक सुरक्षित और आपदा प्रतिरोधी भारत का निर्माण कैसे किया जाए। इसके लिए फाइनेंशियल अरेंजमेंट बहुत जरूरी था। एक निडम की स्थापना की गई, नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट, जो ट्रेनिंग का काम करता है। एक ऐसी संस्था जो भारत में होने वाली आपदाओं पर रिसर्च करता है, उन इलाकों को तय करता है कहाँ पे कौन और कब और कौन सी आपदा आ सकती है, उसके अनुसार उसकी तैयारी करता है। इतना ही नहीं, सैटेलाइट छोड़े गए जिससे मौसम का पता चल सके, चक्रवात के बारे में पता चल सके। अन्य एजेंसियों को भी जोड़ा गया, सिविल डिफेंस को, फायर सर्विस को, होमगार्ड्स को। इसका रिजल्ट ये हुआ कि हम आपदा को रोकने में पूरी तरह सक्षम तो नहीं हो गए, लेकिन आपदा से होने वाली क्षति को कम करने में जरूर सक्षम हो। पहले बाढ़ आता था, भूकंप आता था, मरने वालों की संख्या बहुत ज्यादा होती थी। आज यह संख्या बहुत कम हो गई। हम, क्योंकि ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन अक्सर आता है, तो ऐसा देखा गया कि अभी हुदहुद और फाइलिन जब चक्रवात आए थे तो भारत ने उसका सामना आसानी से किया। विशेषकर उष्णकटिबंधीय चक्रवातों के मामले में भारत अमेरिका से भी ज्यादा सक्षम हो गया। पहले छोटे छोटे चक्रवात पे बहुत ज्यादा जान माल की क्षति होती थी। हमने जापान से सहयोग लिया, क्योंकि जापान के यहाँ भूकंप आना एक सामान्य सी बात थी। हमने वहां केस स्टडी कराई। नीडम का काम ही यही है कि वह कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग प्रोग्राम चलाए, वह आपदा प्रबंधन के लिए एनडीएमए से मिलकर के नीतियां बनवाए, प्लानिंग करे, दिशा निर्देश जारी करवाए। इतना ही नहीं, ट्रेनिंग सेशन रखे, वह सरकारी गैर सरकारी कर्मचारियों का ट्रेनिंग सेशन रखे। नीडम रिसर्च के क्षेत्र में विशेष ट्रेनिंग सेशन रखता है। नीडम के द्वारा, केस स्टडी के द्वारा नए नए आपदाओं के संबंध में जानकारी इकट्ठी की जाती है और उस जानकारी के आधार पे रिसर्च किया जाता है। उसमें नेशनल एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी, उसका जो अध्यक्ष गृह सचिव होता है, उसका काम ही है कि एनडीएमए के द्वारा नीडम के कार्यों में सहयोग करे, यानी उस संस्था के प्रशिक्षण ट्रेनिंग के कार्य को बढ़ावा दे। इसमें जो रिसोर्स फंड रखे गए उनका बहुत बड़ा योगदान है। इसके अलावा एनडीएमए एक्ट 2005 के बाद 2016 में एनडीएमपी लाया गया, नेशनल डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान लाया गया। वह सेंडाई फ्रेमवर्क पे था। इसका अगला स्टेप था कि हमें आपदा आने से पहले पूरे भारत की मैपिंग करनी है, प्लानिंग करनी है, कौन से इलाके में कौन सी आपदा आती है, उसके लिए हमें कैसा रिस्पांस करना है, उस रिस्पांस को कैसे लोगों तक पहुंचाना है। इस क्रम में प्राचीन आपदाओं का अध्ययन किया गया, कैसे उस समय कैसे आपदा आने के बाद किस तरह का रिस्पांस किया जाता था, निगम ने उनका अध्ययन किया और आपदा के अनुसार प्लानिंग तैयार की। इसके नेशनल डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान 2016 के अनुसार कुछ लेआउट प्लान बनाए गए, जिसमें एनसीसी एनएसएस द्वारा स्कूल लेवल से ही नेहरू युवा केंद्र के माध्यम से कॉलेज लेवल पे बच्चों को डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट के बारे में जागृत करना था, इवोकेशन प्लान बनाना था, बच्चों को हर आपदा के बारे में समझाना था। आज हम स्कूलों में मॉक ड्रिल करते हैं, साइनेज लगाते हैं, मंथली, वीकली या 3 मंथ पे डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से हम मॉक ड्रिल करते हैं। एक रूटीन वर्क के रूप में एनएसएस के माध्यम से, एनसीसी के माध्यम से हम स्कूल लेवल से ही एक ऐसा नागरिक तैयार करने की अपेक्षा रखता है एनडीए में कि भारत का हर व्यक्ति, हर बच्चा इसके लिए तैयार हो कि जहां वह रहता है किसी भी आपदा के बारे में जाने, जहां जो वहां आ सकती है उसका प्रत्युत्तर दे सके। यहां तक कि सिविल सर्विस एग्जाम में, प्रीलिम्स और मेंस में एक विशेष पेपर रखा गया डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट, क्योंकि जो डीडीएमए होता है, डिस्ट्रिक्ट डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी होती है, उसका हेड डीसी होता है, यानी डीएम होता है, उसका जो सह अध्यक्ष होता है वहां के लोकल बॉडी का चेयरमैन होता है। तो इन्हें जानना जरूरी है कि आपदा आने पे हम कैसा रिस्पांस कर सके, आपदा के पहले क्या तैयारी करें, आपदा के जाने के बाद क्या तैयारी करें, क्योंकि आपदा के पूर्व की तैयारी आपदा के समय काम आए यह आवश्यक नहीं है, वह उसे कम कर सकती है। यहां तक कि आईआईटी में पाठ्यक्रमों में भी तकनीकी सहयोग के लिए इसे रखा गया। ऑल इंडिया काउंसिल ऑफ टीचर एजुकेशन में इसे जोड़ा गया, इनसेट प्रोग्राम में इसे जोड़ा गया। हर जगह आपदा को ऐड किया गया। यहां तक कि आफ्टर सिलेक्शन आईएएस, आईएफएस, आईपीएस की ट्रेनिंग में जो बेसिक ट्रेनिंग होती है वहां भी डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट को जोड़ा गया कि कैसे आपदा के पहले हम क्या तैयारी करते हैं, रिस्क फैक्टर की कैसे जांच करते हैं, आपदा आने पे हमें क्या क्या करना चाहिए और आपदा के बाद हमें क्या क्या करना चाहिए। इसमें एनजीओ का सहयोग लिया गया, क्योंकि एनजीओ जो नॉन गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, गैर सरकारी संस्थान है, वह विभिन्न ट्रेनिंग के माध्यम से, शिक्षा के माध्यम से, नुक्कड़ नाटक के माध्यम से, स्थानीय कल्चर एक्टिविटी के माध्यम से आपदा के पूर्व के बारे में लोगों को सूचनाएं देते हैं, जन जागरूकता फैलाते हैं, वह उनसे ज्यादा जुड़े होते हैं। सरकारी तैयारी के साथ साथ गैर सरकारी संगठनों का सहयोग लिया गया। आपदा आने के बाद जवाबी कार्रवाई के समय भी उनको जोड़ा गया। वह उस समय भोजन या इस तरह की कोई भी एक्टिविटी जिसकी जरूरत होती है वह जनता तक पहुंचाते हैं। आपदा के जाने के बाद सबसे बड़ा स्टेज है आपदा के जाने के बाद। कोई भी आपदा आती है तो केवल वह भौतिक आपदा नहीं होती है, वह मानसिक रूप से, सामाजिक रूप से व्यक्ति को तोड़ देती है। जैसा हमने कोरोना वायरस में देखा, अभी चल रहा है कि कैसे लोग साइकोलॉजिकली डिस्टर्ब हो गए हैं। कोई भूकंप आता है या चक्रवात आता है, हम अक्सर देखते हैं तटीय इलाकों में कि पूरी की पूरी उनके जीवन भर की कमाई समाप्त हो जाती है, परिवार से लोग समाप्त हो जाते हैं। ऐसे कंडीशन में पुनर्वास, कौशल विकास, सहयोग और क्षमता निर्माण में एनजीओ का सहयोग लिया जाता है। इतना ही नहीं, इसके बाद आपदा के समय जो राहत बचाव की जो प्रणाली है, उसमें त्वरित रिस्पांस में भी इन गैर सरकारी संगठनों का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है। हमने इस महामारी में, कोरोना वायरस वाली महामारी में देखा कि हम कैसे त्वरित प्रतिक्रिया किए। हम भारत ने पहले लॉकडाउन किया, लेकिन उस लॉकडाउन में भी कुछ चीजों को फ्री रखा, मेडिकल की दुकानों को फ्री रखा, खाने पीने के सामानों को फ्री रखा। इस तरह की प्लानिंग जो जोखिम को कम करता है, वह चरण जो जोखिम को कम करता है, उसमें ढेर सारे लोगों का सहयोग लिया जाता है। पुनर्निर्माण का समय हो या पुनर्वास का समय हो या कहीं कौशल विकास का काम हो, वह तीनों स्तरों पे आपदा से आने से पहले, आपदा के समय और आपदा के बाद इन गैर सरकारी संगठनों के सहयोग से चलाया जाता है। आपदा प्रबंधन के जो मुख्य फैक्टर हैं, जो एनडीएमए ने या एनएपी में, नेशनल डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान 2016 में निर्धारित किया गया कि सबसे पहले आपदा या घटना का स्थान निर्धारित किया जाए, कहाँ पे वो आपदा होने की संभावना है, उसका पुनर्नुमान लगाया जाए, उसकी तीव्रता का अनुमान लगाया जाए। ऐसी आपदा अगर बार बार हो रही है तो उसकी बारंबारता का अनुमान लगाया जाए, उसकी समय सीमा का अनुमान लगाया जाए। इतना ही नहीं, वह घटना, वह आपदा मानव को कितना प्रभाव डाल सकती है, इसका भी अंदाजा लगाया जाए और उससे होने वाले नुकसान का आकलन करके मानव में जागरूकता लाया जा सके। इस तरह का प्रबंधन प्राचीन काल में भी भारत में रहा है। अभी हम अर्थशास्त्र की बात करते हैं, वहां भी चाणक्य को हम अक्सर विष्णुगुप्त को लिखते हुए देखते हैं, अर्थशास्त्र में कौटिल्य को देखते हैं कि ग्रीष्म ऋतु में दोपहर में भोजन नहीं बनाना चाहिए, या आग रोकने के लिए ढेर सारे उपयोगी साधनों की बात करता है, वो लकड़ी कुल्हाड़ी वगैरह की बात करता है, चौराहे बाजारों पे पानी रखवाने की बात करता है। अकाल के समय राजा को क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, इसकी बात करता है। लगभग उसी तरह की एक्टिविटी आज भी देखी जाती है इस डेमोक्रेसी में। एनडीएमए एक्ट के द्वारा हमें आपदा के पूर्व या आपदा के बाद क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे सामूहिक सहभागिता को सुनिश्चित करना चाहिए, विभिन्न प्रकार के सरकारी गैर सरकारी संगठनों में कैसे कोऑर्डिनेशन करना चाहिए, कैसे समुचित ट्रेनिंग करनी चाहिए, क्षमता का निर्माण कैसे। मुख्य है भारत में आपदा रोधी क्षमता का निर्माण। एक ऐसा भारत जो किसी तरह की आपदा से बचने के लिए ऐसा क्षमता बना सके कि हम किसी तरह की आपदा आए तो उससे निपट सके। राज्य, जिला स्तर और केंद्र स्तर पर सहयोग कर सके। भारतीय मानकों के अनुसार बिल्डिंगों का निर्माण कर सके, विशेषकर जहां लैंडस्लाइड इलाके हैं, पहाड़ी इलाके हैं, वहां पे भूस्खलन को रोकने के लिए हम उन मानकों को का पालन कर सके। जो लाइफलाइन है, स्कूल हैं, रेलवे स्टेशन है, एयरपोर्ट है, अस्पताल हैं, इनको आपदा रोधी कैसे बनाएं। इसी क्रम में स्कूलों में या हर लाइफलाइन जोन में फायर सेफ्टी जोन बनाए गए। इन्हें, फायर सेफ्टी सर्टिफिकेट एनओसी लेने के लिए बाध्य किया गया कि इन जगहों पे अगर कोई ऐसी आपदा आती है तो उसके बचाव की तैयारी हमारे पास पहले से है। इस तरह की आपदा में राष्ट्रीय ही नहीं अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सहयोग लेने का निर्णय लिया गया। नवीन टेक्नोलॉजी को कैसे लागू किया जाए इसका सहयोग, इस बारे में सुझाव दिए गए। आपदा प्रबंधन को मजबूत बनाने के लिए सबसे महत्वपूर्ण सुझाव ट्रेनिंग को रखा गया। लोगों में जागरूकता को रखा गया। यहां तक कि जो आपदा के समय बचाव राहत में सहयोग करें उन्हें पारितोषिक का भी प्रावधान रखा गया। उन्हें सम्मान दिया जाए, उन्हें कुछ आर्थिक उत्प्रेरक सम्मान दिए जाए। तटीय इलाकों में मल्टी स्टोरी बिल्डिंगों को बनाने में प्रतिबंधित किया जाए। तकनीकी सुधार किए जाए। हिमालय जैसे जो पहाड़ी इलाके हैं उन्हें प्लास्टिक फ्री जोन घोषित कर दिया जाए। सैलानियों को पहाड़ी क्षेत्रों में अपनी गाड़ियों को ले जाने को प्रतिबंधित किया जाए, क्योंकि लैंडस्लाइड का एक बहुत बड़ा कारण ये भी है कि हम पहाड़ों पे प्रदूषण करते हैं, हमारी मूवमेंट ज्यादा होती है। पहाड़ी इलाकों में भूकंप रोधी भवन का निर्माण कराया जाए। बाढ़ एवं सूखा रोकने के लिए नदियों को और नहरों का जाल बिछाया जाए। एक प्लानिंग ये भी थी कि सारी नदियों को जोड़ दिया जाए। बाद में पर्यावरणविदों ने उसे मना किया। सरकार को सलाह दी कि नहीं, आप नदियों के बहाव को नहीं रोक सकते, यह एक नेचुरल डायरेक्शन है। अगर आप उनको रोकते हैं तो नदियों का विकास अवरुद्ध हो सकता है, नदियां सूख सकती हैं। इसलिए इस प्लानिंग को छोड़ दिया गया। सीएसआर रखा गया, कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को रखा गया, जिसमें हमें पता है कि 3 वर्ष के जो औसत शुद्ध लाभ होता है उसका 2% आपदा में देने का प्रावधान किया गया। इसके अलावा विश्व बैंक, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मुद्रा कोष, अन्य संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ जैसे संगठनों के सहयोग से भारत को आपदा रोधी बनाने का प्रयास किया गया। एनडीएम एक्ट 2005 के बनने के बाद जैसे हम घर को वाटरप्रूफ बनाते हैं वैसे ही भारत को आपदा रोधी बनाने का प्रयास किया गया। पीपीटी मॉडल को भी अपनाया गया। जहां जहां जैसी जरूरत पड़ी वैसे आवश्यकताओं को पूरा करने का प्रावधान रखा गया और 2030 तक यूएनओ का जो चार्टर है जिसपे भारत ने भी साइन किया है, भारत भी उसका मेंबर है, कि कैसे 2030 तक 2015 से लेकर 2030 तक सेंडाई फ्रेमवर्क के रूपरेखा के रूप में को पालन करते हुए रिस्क फैक्टर को कम से कम किया जा सके, उसके लिए क्या प्रावधान करना चाहिए, इसके भी प्लानिंग नेशनल डिजास्टर प्लानिंग एक्ट 2016 में किया गया। हमारे लिए इसको जानना या एज ए स्कूल टीचर हमें, हमारा सब्जेक्ट हो या ना हो, आपदा प्रबंधन को जानना जरूरी क्यों है, या हमें इन सर्विस ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम में इस एक सामान्य अध्ययन के रूप में आपदा प्रबंधन को पढ़ने की जरूरत क्यों है, क्योंकि यह जीवन से जुड़ा हुआ मामला है। हम समाज में रहते हैं, एक समाज के जागरूक नागरिक हैं। हम ऐसे इलाकों में भी होंगे जहां बाढ़ आती होगी। हम दिल्ली में रहते हैं, हमें पता है यहाँ भूकंप का जोन है, या हम ऐसे इलाकों से आए होंगे जहां भूकंप आता होगा। तो हम खुद जागरूक हो सके, दूसरों को जागरूक कर सकें। विशेषकर स्कूलों में हम बच्चों के बीच रहते हैं तो हमें स्कूल का एजुकेशन प्लान पता हो, हमें उस मॉक ड्रिल का उद्देश्य पता हो, हमें वहां आने वाली आपदा के बारे में पता हो, सरकार या निगम या एनडीए में अपने लेवल पे काम करती है, यह सेकेंडरी है। कोरोना वायरस महामारी में हमने देखा सेंट्रल और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट अपना काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन समाज के नागरिक के रूप में हमने भी सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग रखी, अभी भी हम लोग मास्क पहन रहे हैं, हमने गवर्नमेंट की गाइडलाइंस को फॉलो अप किया, जिस डीडीएमए एक्ट के हम शिकार हैं उसको भी फॉलो अप किया, ढेर सारे लोगों की ड्यूटियां लगी, चाहते न चाहते में आप ड्यूटी भी किए, ढेर सारी शिकायतें हमारी रही या हैं, लेकिन हमें इस डीडीएमए एक्ट को या एनडीएमए एक्ट को जानना इसलिए जरूरी है कि इसके आने के बाद हम एक बेहतर, सुरक्षित, समर्थ भारत के लिए काम कर सकते हैं। हमने इस एक्ट के अनुसार हम काम किया भी। अभी मई जून तक कोई राशन बांट रहा था, कहीं शेल्टर होम थे, कोई एयरपोर्ट पे काम कर रहा था, उसके बाद भी डोर टू डोर कोई सर्वे कर रहा है, कोई कैसे कोविड-19 का इंजेक्शन लगेगा उसमें ड्यूटी कर रहा है। यह जो ड्यूटी है या डीएम की अथॉरिटी है जिस पे हम काम करते हैं, जो एक्ट है डीडीएम एक्ट 2005 का प्लान ही है कि आपदा आने के बाद जो रिस्पांस बनेगा, जो भी अथॉरिटी है डीएम को, वह कभी भी कहीं भी आपकी ड्यूटी लगा सकता है। उसमें ढेर सारी कमियां दिखाई दी, एनडीएमए एक्ट में ढेर सारी कमियां दिखाई दी इस महामारी के समय, कि हमने किसी स्टेट में लॉकडाउन हुआ, किसी में नहीं हुआ, कोऑर्डिनेशन की कमी भी दिखी, लॉकडाउन में ढेर सारे इशू भी हुए कि लॉकडाउन ठीक से फॉलो अप हो पाया, नहीं हो पाया। यह एक संस्थागत कमी है जिसको हम अपने समय में पहली आपदा में देख रहे हैं, लेकिन ज्यादातर आपदाओं में जो नेचुरल डिजास्टर होते हैं, कहीं साइक्लोन आ गया, कहीं भूकंप आ गया, कहीं लैंडस्लाइड हो गई, कहीं बाढ़ आ गई, उसमें भारत विश्व के सक्षम राष्ट्रों में अपना स्थान रखता है। और विशेषकर ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन के मामले में अमेरिका जैसे सक्षम राष्ट्र से भी आगे निकल चुका है। कोरोना में भी कहिए तो हम अमेरिका से एक तरह से ज्यादा सक्षम है, इतनी आबादी होते हुए भी हमारे यहाँ डेथ रेशियो कम है। हमने रास्ते चाहे जो भी अपनाए हों, लेकिन अभी भी इस महामारी के चपेट में हमारे यहाँ परसेंटेज रेशियो कम है, आबादी के अनुसार रेशियो कम है। लॉकडाउन के बाद हमने तैयारी के लिए मौका मिला, जो आपदा के समय हम तैयारी करते हैं उसमें हमें तैयारी का मौका मिला। हमारे पास पीपीई किट नहीं था, पीपीई किट बनाया, हमारे पास उस समय मास्क नहीं था, आज हम मास्क के सप्लायर हो गए हैं। तो इसलिए आपदा प्रबंधन को सामान्य अध्ययन के रूप में हमें जानना इसलिए जरूरी है कि आपदा कहीं भी कभी भी किसी भी प्रकार की आपदा आ सकती है। मानसिक रूप से हम इसके लिए तैयार रहें, जागरूक रहें, बच्चों को जागरूक रखें कि हम किस प्रकार की आपदा कहाँ आ सकती है इसका ज्ञान रखें, उस आपदा से कैसे निपटेंगे इसके लिए सिलेबस में भी रखा गया। एनसीईआरटी एससीईआरटी में आपदा प्रबंधन की बुक रखी गई और उस सिलेबस के अलावा डेली लाइफ में, मॉर्निंग असेंबली में, एसएसए के द्वारा, ढेर सारी एक्टिविटी के द्वारा हम ये करते रहते हैं कि कैसे बच्चों को जागरूक रखें। बच्चों को जागरूक रखें यानी हमारा उद्देश्य ये है कि जो फ्यूचर जनरेशन है, जो भारत का अगला नागरिक है, उसके स्वभाव में आ जाए कि हमारे यहाँ कौन सी आपदा आ सकती है, हमें उस समय कैसा रिस्पांस करना है। आज भारत का हर बच्चा डक कवर होल्ड डालता है, होल्ड जानता है, भूकंप के समय कहाँ छुपना है ये जानता है। एक प्रैक्टिस रिदम आ गया है कि हमें बच्चों के स्वभाव में डालना है कि आपदा आए तो वो कैसा रिस्पांस करे। यह जो डिजास्टर का चैप्टर है एज ए सब्जेक्ट बहुत बड़ा है, क्योंकि एक एक टॉपिक को एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए यह बहुत बड़ा इशू है। लेकिन जो हम जीएस में पढ़ते हैं उसमें हमें इतना ही समझना है आपदा है क्या, उसके प्रकार क्या है, और विशेषकर एनडीएमए 2005 में क्या इशू उठाए गए, हमने उसका क्या समाधान किया और उससे वह हमारे लिए कैसे उपयोगी है। धन्यवाद। अगर आपको डिजास्टर से कुछ समझना है, पूछना है, तो आप क्वेश्चन सेशन में पूछ सकते हैं।
Any questions from the participants? सर आई फील कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है सर, और टाइम भी जैसे कि हो चला है, तो मैं लास्ट में थैंक यू ही बोलूंगी सर। थैंक यू, आपने बहुत डिटेल में हमें समझाया डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट के बारे में, एंड थैंक यू सर। So all the participants, see you tomorrow as sharp at 2. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.